Hello YouTube viewers and random Iron Man fans, today I'm here to review this, which is the Repulsor Power Iron Man figure from the movie of the same name. And here it is in its frankly generic packaging. As you can see here, basically just rectangular packaging, nothing special about it. Apart from the fact that they seem to have carved a weird kind of triangle out of the side here, no idea why they've done that. Repulsor Power Iron Man written down there with a nice big picture of Iron Man there using his repulsors. Try me option here, push chest button, light up chest and hand, launching repulsor projectile and flight and combat signs, and this is for ages 4 and up. Motion activated signs written up there. When it comes to the side of the packaging, not really missing much. For some reason there's a hole there, not really too sure why. Around this side, you're not really missing much either, but nice big viewing window, I forgot to mention as well there, which allows, it really just shows off the figure really quite well. When it comes to the top and below, you're not really missing much, just the usual phlebotinum. And around the back here, nice big picture of the figure, and it basically just shows off all its little features, and a little bio on Iron Man at the top. So that's pretty much this in its box, and now let's crack it open and take a look at it out of its box. Okay, so here we go, and as you can see, the first thing you notice whenever you take them out of the box is the detail for a basic kid's toy is really, really great. As you can see on the face sculpt here, it's all detailed really well. It's basically all these little lines and sections here where the pieces of armour meet that really, really stands out, really looks great. Even on his neck here too, you can see the individual little sections, and on his shoulders as well. Moving on to the chest plate here too, you can see the kind of separation of layers there, even down on his ab section. The arms too, detailed very, very nicely. Even the hands and fingers there on either side are really, really great. Moving down here as well on the legs, as you can see there, like everything's kind of been brought out here really with these little sort of lines, and you know, it's actually all dug in there, so it really does look like pieces of metal which have been joined together. And even down here on his boots too, you can see there the detail on them really are magnificent. Even underneath here as well looks great. Unfortunately around the back is where it loses points, because it's got this ugly switch right here which is very, very noticeable. Could have been disguised very easily, but very unfortunate. All their legal garb is on his ass really, so that's kind of annoying. And all these little screw holes here, as you can see, the whole way around his torso, which is really, really annoying. And the worst thing, the thing I hate most of all, a massive battery pack with a massive screw right there. And you know how much I really, really hate battery packs, so that's kind of annoying. It could have been disguised a little bit better. But you know, from the back it doesn't look too good, but from the front I really do like it detail wise. When it comes to articulation, well, his head can do the 360 exorcist twist, and there is kind of limited up and down motion there, so he can kind of nod and turn his head side to side, but again, very, very restricted. The shoulder here can spin only 180 degrees, it doesn't do the full 360, which is kind of annoying. Down here on the elbow, there's 90 degree motion in and out. No wrist articulation or no finger articulation, and that goes the same for this arm as well. No waist articulation either, so again, kind of annoying. His leg only comes out 90 degrees and down again, and a little bit back, but that's kind of it. And his knee bends 90 degrees, and really, yeah, it's the same for the other leg, and really that's kind of it. You know, there's no sort of foot articulation or anything like that. So this is kind of crap as far as articulation goes. As far as features go, well, he does have light and sound effects, which are accessed by pressing his little central arc reactor here, which is a nice little idea, and I'm glad they've done that. So I'll press it here and give you the full run through.
I am Iron Man. Repulsor blast. Target engaged. Auxiliary power.
And I think that's kind of it, really.
I am Iron Man.
Yeah, that's kind of it. So as you can hear, the voice isn't really that great. You know, it doesn't sound a lot like Robert Downey Jr. in any respect. You know, even if his voice has been slightly altered. The arc reactor here lights up orange instead of white, so I don't really understand that. And there are only 4 phrases, so that's really kind of annoying. I don't like that at all. Also included in the pack are 3 of these, which are his little repulsor projectiles here, which slot into his right arm. And as you can see, they don't slot the full way in, so that's kind of annoying. I don't like that. I much prefer a projectile to be concealed rather than sort of stuck out there, so that looks kind of annoying. And this is activated by pressing a little button here on his arm. And as you can see here, whenever I press it, it does spit it out quite far. And makes the little sound effect noise there too, which, you know, is quite cool. And the little button on his arm here can also activate the repulsor light on his other hand. Another little feature that this toy includes is its motion-activated flight sound effects. So this is pretty much activated by a little kind of button here, which is concealed in his ankle, and whenever you lift him up, it senses that it's been lifted up, and it makes sound effects. And also, whenever you move it about in the air, it makes some noise and sound effects accordingly. So I'll show you guys that. So that's kind of a takeoff sound. And then it makes this whining noise constantly. I think this is just sort of to simulate flying, but as you can see, whenever you turn it, it makes sort of little noises as though it's turning. Which is kind of quite cool, except half the time it doesn't kind of work. And it kind of makes the same sound effects over and over again, which is kind of annoying. And to stop this annoying whining, which keeps going on, just set it back down, and it'll make the sort of power down noise, and that's kind of it. So, yeah, you know, I can see where the toy manufacturer was coming from whenever they were putting that together. You know, it does seem like a cool sort of idea. Certainly if you're a 4-year-old playing with this anyway, I'm sure it's really cool. But genuinely, I find that really kind of annoying, especially that whining as though he's flying through the air all the time. And the fact that with the limited posability, you can't move his head up. So as you know, whenever he's flying, his head's always kind of up, and so you can see where he's going, but with this figure you can't do that with the limited posability, which is quite unfortunate. So all in all, what do I think of this figure? Well, honestly, I should hate it. I mean, you know, it hasn't got great posability, the back of it is ugly, frankly, with all those kind of screw holes in the battery compartment on it, and I find its features really lacking, and I find that flight thing really, really annoying, especially that whole whining noise it makes whenever it's supposed to be flying in the air. So yeah, really I should hate this thing. But the funny thing is, I actually kind of like it, and the reason why I like it is because I remember whenever I was like 5 or 6, the Power Rangers were really big, and I wanted a Blue Ranger. So I got one, and literally all it did was, it kind of had the same posability that this did. It didn't have any light up or sound effects or anything like that. All it did was come with a plastic gun and a box quite similar to this as well. And I loved the thing. I thought it was amazing. I mean, kids today don't know they're born with all the super duper toys that are being released. So, you know, like I say, I should hit this thing, but just that nostalgic feeling that I get from it really reminds me of the toys that I used to play with growing up as a kid. And detail-wise, even though it is basically plastic and just for kids, it is quite cool. So if you're a cheap ass like me and you want a kind of big Iron Man to display, and you can't afford the Hot Toys one, go for this, because, you know, from a distance, it really does look quite cool, and detail-wise, it is quite nice. I mean, sure, I'd like it to have better detail, I'd like it to have better articulation, I'd like even the little mask to lift up to reveal Tony Stark's face. Heck, I'd even maybe like the eyes to light up, but, you know, I just like it, and that's really all I can say. It kind of reminds me of, you know, the movie Jingle All the Way, where Arnold Schwarzenegger has to go out and get the doll for the little asshole who ends up becoming Anakin Skywalker in episode 1. Well, it reminds me of Turbo Man, really, in a sense that it's this big lump of plastic, but I really had to have it. And I had to have it in its box because it just reminds me of that movie so much and reminds me of my childhood. So I'm going to pretty much stop gushing now and end this review by saying thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's countless more reviews online. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.